This is going to be a different kind of interview today. So, who are you?
I'm Mark Shaw. I'm president of Maverick Brands.
Yeah.
And I like to think I'm someone who is passionate about what he does and what we sell and what we do. And that's why really I got into the business to begin with.
When I first heard about your company, I said, no, I got to go and interview these guys because this used to be an orchard here. and so it has that tie in my mind to the old Silicon Valley, which is before all the high tech moved in. I mean, I lived right by Apple, and Apple back then was one little building about the size of this one, surrounded by orchards. So, you know, the headquarters now is on an apricot orchard, and I remember seeing Sunkist signs back in Sunnyvale in the old days, you know, where they used to crate up fruit and stuff like that. So, tell me a little bit about what you're doing. You're a startup. You're not owned by Sunkist or anything.
No, we're a licensee of Sunkist,
yeah.
And I moved out here 10 years ago, and we saw the need for better quality beverages. I mean, the connection to the area is the best fruit in the country comes from this area, and we thought by selecting the best fruit from local orchards and places, we could develop a better quality product than what was out there.
Okay.
And people know the Sunkist brand name. It's a brand name with integrity, and with the sort of intellectual property that's here in the Valley, we had people come out of the woodwork wanting to work for us. We try to create an environment where people are passionate about what they do. We all dress relaxed. I feel people do their best work. So we inherited a lot of the philosophy of the Valley in terms of a place people want to work, feel passionate about. We use some of the technology of the Valley, but at the end of the day, we're making something non-tech and hopefully doing it better than everybody else.
Yeah, the area here is known for juice companies that have gone big. You know, Dwala was started just a few miles from here and sold to Coca-Cola?
Yes, so Dwala was sold to Coke, and Naked down in LA was sold to Pepsi, and Naked started in LA. Yeah. It's just the area of the country where all the fruit, a good part of the fruit in the country comes from the region from as far north as Washington and as far south as literally Mexico. And so you've got your oranges, your berries, your Bing cherries. So you got the best fruit and the best source of it. So it's natural that all these companies started here. We just want to keep it here and not have it migrate everywhere else.
Yeah. How big is the industry, you know, in terms of millions or billions of dollars?
It's really how you cut it. If you're talking smoothies or juices, the sector has been growing double digits for the past 4 or 5 years. Everybody's switching from drinking things like Coca-Cola and things with corn syrup to healthier beverages. So it's growing like crazy. If you look at the whole industry, the juice category is several $billion. Orange juice alone is a $2 billion category. You add smoothies and other healthy products, you're talking 4 or 5 billion. And the healthy category, healthy beverage category is now seen as possibly a $20 billion category. So
there's a big pie, or
a
big bottle out there
yeah,
to go after, right?
If you think, how many meals people have a day? 3 meals?
Yeah. How
many beverages did you have today, including water and other things?
Probably 3 already.
Yeah, well, average person has somewhere between 5 or 10 beverages a day. Yeah. So when you take that, there's, and not until, the big deal was what, Snapple 15 years ago? We basically drank water, juice, milk, and coffee. Now, you have tons of variety to choose from. And healthier options to choose from.
Yeah. Why start this company now?
Why not? No, there was a need we saw in the category that the quality level had gone down and healthy beverages were growing. Also a personal belief of mine to deliver something better quality, healthy. My father had 2 triple bypasses when I was a kid. We had nutritionists in our home, and there's a lot of hocus pocus that goes on in the marketplace for healthier products. And we felt with the Sunkist brand name with integrity that people trusted, with us doing it in the way where we sourced local fruit and we delivered better quality, we could deliver something that other people weren't delivering out in the marketplace. So yeah. We believe in the long run integrity will win out. And everybody says, well, categories get crowded, a lot of players. When you make a better quality product and you do it faster, cheaper, more effective than someone else, there's always room for someone else in the mix.
Yeah. Are you only going after the U.S. market, or are you going after a bigger market than that?
You know what? Focus, focus, focus is sort of the mantra. We want to do a good job here and just focus on really building it. We've had a lot of requests. We just entered Canada with a partnership in Canada. We're already in 2,000 stores in Canada. We've had requests as far, east as Asia, wanting the product. The Sunkist brand name is extremely well known there. We have requests from Germany and Italy because they've seen, we actually, consumers are going to more of an upscale sort of package and feel. One of our board members is the founder of Voss Waters. People want to carry around something they want to put in their pocketbook or drive in their car. They want something that looks better, that tastes better. So we designed a package that is more European for the US market, but putting product in it that's better quality. So this is translated sort of across borders. So long term, possibly yes, but we're going to do our knitting at home and do it well and then go on from there.
Yeah. You're a branding expert, right? I mean, this is Maverick Brands that we're at right now.
Correct. I love building brands. I love finding out what really people want, people are looking for, and then delivering it in a way that sort of fits their lifestyle and hopefully their lifestyle going forward versus back. So, branding has sort of been turned on its head, and what brands mean and what they represent. At the end of, some people have said the death of brands. My belief is things are branded even if they don't have a brand name on it. It's sort of gaining the consumer's trust and delivering something that they can turn to every time, knowing they're going to get the same quality. Whether it's we talked about Apple Computer before, whether it's a good piece of equipment in the consumer's mind, whether it's a juice or whether it's a shirt they're wearing, they want something they can turn to. So whether that shirt has a brand on it or it doesn't, it's something they can turn back to. So.
Yeah. What's the trick? I mean, especially in this economic time, what's the trick to building a good brand? Tell me the drudge work of building a great brand.
You're like an octopus.
We see the great logo, but
thanks.
And a lot of people think branding is just a logo.
No, it's not. It's building the right team. It's having the right strategy in the market. I mean, what's behind this, behind the packages, is a strategy to go out and to the marketplace. So we have a distribution strategy that's different than competitors. They all have their own trucks going out, which are very expensive. Most of the places from us are picking up direct from our facility because we located the facility right along Route 99 and out in Central Valley where trucks are going to pick up their produce. So we go on the back of those produce trucks. So being more efficient in our distribution model, being leaner. You see how many people we have in the office. We don't have a lot of overhead. We sort of say we work hard, play hard here, but we work quite hard and doing it sort of faster and nimbler, doing what retailers ask us to do and being quick on our feet to do that. And I think really hiring is really important. Getting people who really believe in what you're doing and have the skill set and then are dedicated and will work with you. So it's adaptability. The economy's had a big downturn, and we've had to get more efficient. We see price pressures out there, so a little leaner, a little meaner in the sense of how we operate in the marketplace and price discounts and getting more people to try our product. Because we started this we launched 10 months ago, but was in planning for 2 years. So everything was booming at that point. But people are really responding to what we do. We just have to be smarter and faster about doing it.
How many shelves are you on? You said you were.
We are in 5,000 stores,
and you're only a year old.
We're 10 months old.
Now, how do you do that? Because I know I've talked to, I used to be in the retail business. Getting access to shelving space is really tough.
Well, the first ingredient I said is people. And my partner, who's the first hire that I had here, which is Peter Wilson, Peter had contacts throughout the beverage industry. He had sold in Odwalla, Naked, and Bolthouse to buyers. So he could talk to those buyers, show them what we were doing, and take it a little on faith. It had a brand name. People knew the product. Peter has a brand too because he's known by the buyers. So the buyers took it in, and that's how you get distribution real quick. So we got the distribution very quickly. We put together a team of people from the industry that had done the sampling, demoing, worked with a lot of these retailers before. So, we bought a lot of expertise, and fortunately, in this category, you don't have to pay what's called slotting, pay to get on the shelf. Yeah. I'll give you a perfect example. Nestle came on, same time. I had proposed to Jamba Juice in that 2-year period when we were testing brands, doing a licensed brand in supermarkets. They came on the market. They are spending, throwing $10,000 per flavor to get it on the shelf. And a lot of markets are being pulled from the shelves now because I think they thought slapping a brand name on it and putting something together that wasn't as good a quality, but other companies have to buy the shelf space. We haven't had to buy the shelf space because of the relationships and what we've done and the brand name.
Wow. Why here in Silicon Valley? Because your factory is in Central Valley and it's cheaper out there. Certainly now that the housing costs have been impacted far more in the Central Valley. Why try to locate a team here where it's more expensive?
It's more, hiring good people is expensive wherever you are. So I think the infrastructure is here. You can pick up your laptop and pretty much do business anywhere. We're a virtual company in the sense that most of the people are out in the field, sales field. So whether the corporate base was here or in New York, I happen to be here. The source of fruit here is here. Sunkist is here. We just felt this was a good place to start it. We could be out at the plant. We could go visit the groves. And we were all here. I mean, Peter moved from Denver. It's a natural place, as you said, all the other juice companies started here. It's a natural place to start a juice company. People more healthy oriented here. You attract people who have that same sort of bent. And in terms of expense, I think people, given responsibility, passion, will, take stock instead of salary, and people are more used to that here for the growth, and we did that when we started out. So the formula in the Valley is right for a startup, whether it's tech or non-tech, and there have been very successful non-tech startups in the Valley. I think the ingredients are here, and the intellectual capital you can't pay for. So those
are you going after headquarters like Google has a big Odwalla contract, right?
This was focus. Our core knitting and expertise and our backgrounds are all supermarkets. We are starting to get a lot of requests from cafeterias, hospitals. One of the major hotel chains came to us and said, this is something people would love to have out by the pool. We wouldn't take a competitor's product out, but since it looks good, we'd like to carry this. So we're now venturing into that space, the food service space. It's a different animal. We're bringing on someone to really focus on that. So we should be at cafeterias coming to you soon.
Yeah. In schools, there's a big argument about energy drinks now, right? Because you see all these weird energy drinks that Coca-Cola and other people are marketing. How are you going to get that out of the schools? Because that's already happening. People are suing to get that stuff out of the schools. But how are you making a pitch that this is better stuff for?
Well, this tends to be a little bit more expensive because of what the ingredients put into it. School budgets aren't designed to deliver better quality, higher cost items. Parents are getting wise and putting pressure on school boards to bring in things that are healthier and better for you. It's a catch-22 because you want the better stuff that costs more expensive, more money has to go into school budgets, look at the economy. So we'd love to do stuff with schools and get it into schools. We haven't, there are only so many things we can do at one time, and eventually, maybe, there's been a big push. Caffeine, I'm a huge believer. I started this company because of health reasons, and it started when I was a kid, and I'd love to be part of that. It just has to be, we need to focus on one area at a time. Yeah. But I think that situation will end up as parents put more pressure. Caffeine, everybody knows, keeps you up, keeps you going, but you got to imagine kids in schools, it's not the best way to learn to teach long term. Do we want people who are already hyped up all the time, or do we want people who are healthy and building sort of healthier future? It sounds kind of very utopia, but I really believe people are more aware of health and eating and affects how you feel at work when you crash, and I think that translates into kids in schools. They've even found that the study was done in Indiana where they gave kids healthier lunches. They saw less fighting, scores go up, and happier kids. So. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the product itself. What differentiates that? Why does it taste better, first of all?
Well,
this is pretty good stuff.
Thank you. It tastes better. Simple fact is we put better stuff in it. So strawberry, we go out, everybody uses these cooked strawberries like you buy in jelly. We go out and we get, starts with unpasteurized strawberries. So they come from the fields, they're pureed, they're freshly frozen. That goes to the plant. So you're getting the actual strawberry flavor, real strawberries in it. It even has a lot of the fiber that's in the product. So it's starting out with better quality ingredients. It's the process, like we first talked about, of making it a better process. It's a very gentle process. So you get a product that goes into the bottle that's as if you made it yourself in a blender. Yeah. So, in sourcing, my background has been making products for companies, going out and really finding better sourcing. The mango, which you tried at the beginning, we actually didn't get any mango. A lot of there are mangoes all over the world. Most companies use these mangoes from Mexico. We went out and found mangoes that come from the western region of India, which are famous as being the best mangoes in the world. Most people don't put that into juice or smoothies because it's something you eat off the table. In Europe, they do, and it's the #1 selling smoothie in Europe. I had it, and we went and found not only the mangoes from that region, but the best supply of those mangoes, had them come over here. That's why this tastes the way it does. So it's paying attention to the detail of what goes into the product, the process to make it, and then delivery. These are rushed to stores after they're made, refrigerated. So you're getting something that tastes really fresh, better quality.
How long does it last?
This will let, well, once you
This
open
isn't
it,
like Diet Coke. You can
no,
keep Diet Coke in your garage for a year or two, and it still tastes like Diet Coke.
The interesting thing when we started this, two things. Once you open it, you should drink it within a couple days. What we found, we did a special process to make this that no air or oxygen gets in the bottle. We first did our labels and declared very lower values on our nutritionals. Yeah. Because of the process, we went and sent this out to the lab, both to test how long shelf life and nutritionals. Nutritionals came back higher than anything, like natural omega-3s coming from the fruit because we're using better quality fruit. The shelf life actually came back much longer than we expected just because no oxygen can get in the bottle and the purity of the process. So this can be in your refrigerator for several weeks and be fine. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the business, because I haven't studied a fruit business before or a drink business. What's the keys to profitability for you? And
well, the beauty about the beverage business is it does have higher margins than, I came from frozen food, which has single-digit margins. It has higher margins, so there's a little bit more flexibility in terms of the gross margin you have on the business. The key with a beverage business is not to overspend. A lot of companies spend money on advertising. You have to be able to turn the product quickly on the shelf because it's a fresh product. So the key is getting distribution. Getting distribution on the shelf is key, and then having your product really move on the shelf. And licensing a brand name with the integrity of Sunkist is getting, people walk by, there are tons of brands on the shelf, there's tons of healthy brands, you don't know what they're about, is getting that pull and turn on the shelf. People see the Sunkist brand, they pick it up. We go a step further. We have a lot of people demoing the product out in the field so people can taste it. So it's category turns on the shelf. It's not putting too much money on the back end in overspending on marketing or huge, corporate offices. And because everybody and their brother thinks they can make a recipe to make a drink that people would want. And in a lot of these, in a lot of beverages, there's not that much sophistication that goes behind some of the formulas. A flavored sparkling soda, but the production process to make it and deliver it is quite complicated. Yeah. So that's another piece, finding the right manufacturing to make and deliver a product fresh. And in our case, finding minimal manufacturing that doesn't denigrate the product. So. Yeah.
Do you expect to sell this company eventually, or are you building it? I mean, this is the same question I ask startups. Are you going to flip your company, or now everybody's like, no flipping allowed.
Yeah.
So with the economy the way it is,
we created Maverick Brands with the idea that we'd start with the Sunkist brand. There was plenty to do under Sunkist in healthy beverage because it's synonymous with health and fruit. And my objective was to build not only a better product, but a different type of company internally, have a place people like to work, make it sort of minimum infrastructure, no politics tolerated, and create an environment where sort of brands can thrive. So if it made sense, I want to build it right without the thought of flipping it. If it made sense to sell off a piece of business for business reasons to sell it, it wasn't core to the business. We want to build a sales and distribution company where we can have an efficient system to put things down the pipeline. So whether it's our idea was to come out with a baseline of product that would go into the category and compete with what's there now. My background's in innovation, so innovate in the category. Everybody always says this category, there's every tea, there's every juice, but then a vitamin water comes along and is a multi-billion-dollar company. I think there's still plenty of opportunities. If you think about it, we've had 100 years of soda come into place. We've only had 10 years of healthy beverages. Yeah. So and if you think about it, most people take water or juice and they take a nutrient pill or something. Why not get it from the fruit if the manufacturing capability and from your foods is deliver the nutrients that were there to be meant by nature to begin with. So I think we'll develop a lot of other products, innovative products. If it makes sense to sell a piece of it, we will. but it's build it right, and then we'll have plenty of opportunities, whether we want to sell a piece, finance, sell the company. But it's really build the right company and sort of built to last type of thing.
Very cool. At Microsoft, one of the interview questions is, how do you sell water to Eskimos, right? Or sell ice to Eskimos was the actual interview question. It sounds like this is a good study session for that kind of question. And, you know, come up with purified ice, come up with some idea.
Yeah, I mean,
somebody with an abundance.
The guy who came up with bottling water, brilliant idea, and everybody wonders, you know, how did that industry all of a sudden spike? A large part of it in the food industry has always been about portability, a way to take stuff with you. So this is portable nutrition, and you know, it's not. So we want to create something with real value. There are plenty of products out there. I would say there's a lot of the energy products. I mean, all the energy products are right now is basically Coke in a new form. It's almost the same level of caffeine or a little bit more. Just put a different packaging face on it. So whether you're looking, and I won't name brand names, but the big brand names that are selling all this caffeine, it's just the dose of caffeine in a different form that you feel comfortable to carry around. So,
Thank you so much. This is really fun.
yeah, pleasure.
Thanks.